Hi, everyone. I am really thankful to be here today with my friend, Dr. Keith Palmer, who is the director of our Doctorate of Ministry program here at the Masters University. And I'm just going to ask him some questions about the Doctorate of Ministry program and let him share his heart with you about what the Doctorate of Ministry degree is about. So this will be easy.
Okay.
I'm interested in what you are excited about with the Doctorate of Ministry degree here at Masters.
Yeah, it's a real privilege to be here and serve in this role. And I think, Masters University has such a heritage of excellence in biblical counseling training. And so the Doctor of Ministry and Biblical Counseling is just adding another layer to that excellence. And so that heritage, I think, is something I'm excited about. And also what we're trying to do at that top level, that doctoral level, is train the next generation of trainers. So we're thinking about training men and women, first of all, to be competent, excellent counselors that are experts in their field in terms of the skill of counseling. And that's not just the how-tos. I mean, we're thinking about our character, that we grow in Christ-like character. We're thinking about knowing those skills and growing in those skills that many of our students have been practicing for years, but excelling in that. But not only just competency in the field, we also want to make sure that they're up to speed on present scholarship, what's going on in the biblical counseling movement, interacting with the influencers, the works, the papers that are going on, so that our students are going to be training the next generation. So knowing what's going on in the field and interacting with them is key. And then finally, as I mentioned, we're really training them to be trainers. So we're thinking about how do you train another counselor, and what does that ministry look like of not just helping them with their character and their skills, but getting those actually into practice. How do you interact with somebody who's deficient in one skill, or maybe coming across harsh instead of gentle, or they're confused theologically, or they're not handling the text properly. So all of those dynamics of how we're training a new generation of counselors. Those are some reasons I'm really excited about the program.
I'm excited about it too. I really enjoyed the little bit of time I had with them earlier today, and it was fun to get to know them a little bit. What is the format like?
Yeah, so the format, it's modular. So like a lot of Doctor of Ministry degrees, it's really designed for somebody in full-time ministry. They don't have to relocate to Southern California here, as beautiful as it is here. So they can do the program entirely from their location, and then but they come on campus a total of 4 times. They have seminars that take place in the fall and in the spring each year. And then in between those, they're doing work online at their place of residence. We love having them on campus because when they come out, they spend a couple of days in the library working on their doctoral project and interacting with our library staff that assists them in doing research and writing. And then they're in seminars Monday through Friday, basically 8 to 5, where we're talking about the material related to that particular course. And then alongside of the seminars, they're doing an applied ministry course where we're interacting with them about the counseling that they're currently doing, again, trying to help them to grow in those skills. And then they're also enrolled in a project writing class where really from the very first semester, we want them working on a proposal for their doctoral project and actually beginning to write that first chapter. And the idea is by the time they get through those 4 semesters of seminar, that they've essentially written out the bulk of their doctoral project. So we avoid that all but dissertation situation that many of us in doctoral studies know too well. So that's the format. They're on campus 4 times a year for those seminars, and then they do the rest of the work back at their place of residence.
How about the requirements to get into the degree?
Yeah, so it's an MDiv or equivalent to get in. So there's a certain number of not just credit hours, but also the types of credits that they have. So we're really thinking of the MDiv. For example, if somebody has an MABC, they can credit up by taking additional credits either here at Masters or somewhere else. But they really need that MDiv and equivalent. We want them to be a seasoned counselor, so we require a certain number of counseling experience years, and we highly prefer ACBC certification that will give them an advantage. Or if they're on their way toward ACBC certification, that's fine too. But those are the basic requirements there.
Isn't one of the goals if I'm remembering correctly, with the men that are in the program, to prepare them to be a fellow with ACBC? Am I remembering correctly?
Yeah, correct. So when we think about training trainers, we're really thinking about those that would teach counseling, would mentor counseling, and supervise counseling. ACBC has a level of membership called the fellow or supervisor level. And so while we can't manufacture that here at the university, that's something ACBC does. What we're doing intentionally is building the dynamics of that fellow process into the program as much as we're able to do. So when reading and writing and even some of the opportunities they have to interact with instructors about counseling and also in the classroom as well, giving them scenarios. If you had a counseling student that struggled with this particular issue in counseling, what would you do to help them to improve in that? So in all those ways, what we're thinking about helping our students to be potential future supervisors for ACBC, or supervision assistants is another level. It's not a formal level of membership, but as the name implies, these are competent men and women that are skilled counselors that work alongside our fellows to supervise new counselors.
And I think that'd be important to make known as well, that this program's not just for men. You want to talk about that just a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have both male and female students. We want to train men and women that are doing the work of counseling, and female students that are counseling other women and are training female counselors in the context of their local church and other places. And then, of course, male students. Some of them are pastors or in pastoral ministry. But the program is really designed to help both men and women students to grow in their counseling skills and to be trainers and to be potential mentors for future counselors.
Lastly, I know we're only a couple of years into this, but what have been some of the projects that have jumped out so far that students have submitted, like the topics that they've done research on?
Yeah, and I should speak to that, because our doctoral project is actually unlike any other Doctor of Ministry project that I'm aware of. It's longer than most, but don't let that scare you away, because it's designed to go deeper in theological scholarship and exegetical insight than your typical Doctor of Ministry project. But because it is a practitioner degree, it has that really strong practical component that's going to serve the church and serve counselors as well. And yeah, and just in our few years of being in operation here, we have a lot of really great projects. We've got some students writing on areas of schizophrenia right now. We have a student writing on obsessive compulsive disorder, and specifically the religious form of that. We sometimes call that scrupulosity. Mm-hmm. We have students thinking deeply about self-control and how the love of Christ controls us, 2 Corinthians chapter 5. Mm-hmm. We have students that have talked about developing counseling ministries in other countries, and just what does that look like when you're trying to create a culture of care in a very different culture than in the States, or where someone might be used to doing counselor training. So just, we all sorts of variety there, and I'm really encouraged to see those projects come together.
I love it, and I am so thankful we have a Doctorate of Ministry here at Masters University.
I am
and
too.
I'm glad you're leading it.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. It's a privilege to serve.